Welcome to OtakusandGeeks.com reviews. Justin here, and excuse the voice, I am currently under the weather. I am a little sick, but I really wanted to do this review, so I'm going to give it to you guys while I'm sick, because I love you. So, today I will be reviewing the anime movie, A Letter to Momo. Here's a brief synopsis of the slice-to-life drama film. Momo is a young girl who grew up in a big city. However, following the premature loss of her father, she has to move with her mother to the old family house on a remote island. Here, time seems to have stopped. Old wooden buildings, holy shrines surrounded by trees, fields painstakingly carved out from steep hills, and no shopping malls. Needless to say, Momo's not too over-enthusiastic about this new environment. Most of all, her heart is still feeling uneasy about an unfinished letter left by her father, a letter that contained only two words: Dear Momo. What was her dad going to say? One day, exploring the attic of her new big house, Momo finds a dusty, worn-out book, and from that moment, something really unexpected starts to happen around her. Let me say this is a brilliant film. This was a really good anime, and production IG really went in on the animation, but I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But the story and the characters are really powerful. This has to be my favorite anime movie that I've seen this year. Like it stated in the synopsis, Momo lost her father prematurely, and she feels she's carrying this guilt with her because she had an argument with her dad that same day. I'm not going to spoil it of why they were arguing or why she's told her dad that she hates him. She said, "I hate you, Dad. Do not bother coming back." Ironically, he didn't come back because he ends up dying that same day. And she's carrying this guilt. And because of the loss of her father, she and her mother have to move to where her mother was raised, which is this remote island. And she has a strange relationship with her mother. And her mother is basically dealing with the death of her husband in another sort of way. She's become very work driven. She puts everything into work, and she's hardly home, and she leaves Momo alone. So Momo is trying to find some type of closure the mother deals with the death by going to work and just not being home or being around Momo. And Momo is trying to deal with it by trying to keep on and trying to figure out what her dad was trying to say in that letter. And what transpires is that Momo has to find the answer, and she finds help from these. When she goes to the attic, she releases 3 spiritual guardians who, to her knowledge, were just demons or goblins just haunting the place, but they're actually there for a specific mission, and that's actually to watch Momo and watch the family because, well, I can't go into more of that because, well, let's just say something that it's a very spiritual aspect, and the movie tackles a lot on the afterlife and dealing with death, and it's a nice slice of life drama. It's a melodramatic from time to time, but it really works really greatly. All the characters play a big role, or if they don't play a big role, they play a certain key role to help Momo deal with the death, or to even help the mother deal with the death. And what I did like about the movie is that the movie, yes, the plot is to find out what the father wrote, but at the same time, they gave enough time to develop the 3 guardians who are central characters to the story. And there's going to be time, I will say, through the first and second act, they use that relationship to build with Momo. And then when you finally get into the gear of what the real purpose is, it really works. And it really goes, oh my god, that's such a good moment, such a sweet moment. It has one of those plenty of moments. And it's really dramatic too, because we all, like I said, we all deal with death. We all lost somebody from time to time, and death is not easy to deal with. And I like how they approach it lightheartedly about death. I mean, this is something even your kids can watch. It's still a lighthearted anime, and I really did love the story. I love Momo's character. I love how she was just dealing with it and trying to find an answer, or just trying to keep that lasting connection on. I love the spiritual themes and spiritual undertones of the afterlife, and using something called the sky. And I loved all of that, and I thought the movie was really well done in the story and the plot. There are times where it gets a little comedic because you can't be drama all the time, so the Guardians play a lot of the comic relief, and it really works. It's a nice, great story, and I really did love the strange relationship between Momo and her mother, and I love how these things were intertwined and all linked back to the father who prematurely died. So overall, it's a one hell of a story. You're going to love the characters, especially the Guardians. The Guardians are the central piece of the story, and even though it strays away from a lot of times to the main focus of the Guardians, it really works. And when it goes back to the main plot, it fits and ties it very, very well. So let's go to the voice acting. The voice acting is phenomenal. I loved every bit of it. Every bit of it. And who really steals the show is actually the Guardians. All three of those voice actors, these guys were over the top. They were hilarious. They even made you emotional at certain times, especially during the dramatic scenes. And they really brung it, man. Like every scene that they're in, they steal it. They steal every single scene, and they really keep you engaged. They keep you watching, and just the entire cast is great as well. Momo was really great by Kara Miyama. She was awesome as Momo. I loved her voice. She was compassionate. Her screams are her screams are hilarious too. And when she got to the drama, it really does really well. Overall, the voice acting was phenomenal. I loved every single character, every voice, every beat. It was in sync. It was entertaining, and it didn't take me out. So the voice acting was phenomenal. Let's go to music and animation. Music and animation. Oh boy, is the music amazing, and it's a great job by Mina Kubata, who just brings the string, the violins, and the piano. And the piano, when it kicks in with the violins and the strings, it is such a beautiful composition. And especially during the crying scenes and when the environment, when the rain is pouring. This is going to sound weird, but calling this rain music, but this is one composition when the rain is pouring and it's pouring hard and the piano kicks in and you just feel it here in your heart and you're like, oh my gosh, this captures the animation beautifully and it complements the animation, and the music was just really top notch. Great job by Mina, and an animation done by Production IG. Phenomenal. I mean, this is probably one of their best works. I love when they do slice of life. I love when they do drama films because they really bring you that human emotion in that environment. And this is, to me, one of the best movies I've seen them do. And I loved every bit of the animation, especially the precipitation of the weather when it was coming down, and the typhoons and emotions, and what really just makes you feel like, takes you away from making it feel like you're watching an anime is the facial expressions. And with Mima's composition, you're like, oh man, this is good. I would love to see this in live action. And that's what this movie wanted me to really see. It's like, I gotta see this in live action as well. I want to see a live action version of this movie, and it does a really great job for animation and music wise. I will go with the final grade now. The final grade, A Letter to Momo, gets an A+. This was a brilliant anime. I mean, it does stray away from the main plot to develop the Guardians, but the Guardians are so entertaining. They are so funny. They are very heartfelt that you won't care that it strays away from the main purpose of what the letter was. And for the first and second act, it's really just a build up to that emotional third act, which is just a very sweet, nice ending. And I enjoyed every minute of it. I mean, the characters were great. I love the development of all the kids that was with Momo, and the development was great, and it was just a wonderful anime. Brilliant writing, great cast, wonderful OST. This is an OST I'm gotta find because I want to have this OST in my collection. And the animation was good as well. It made me want to see this in live action, just the story and the music put together, just to see how it would be in a live action film. So this is Justin from otakusgeeks.com. Signing off, say later days. A Letter to Momo gets an A+. 9.0, 5 stars. It's really good. I enjoyed it. So later days, guys.